frustrating results in Dallas, one wondered how the world champs would respond the next night in Houston. Well, they responded like champions. With the cornerstone still sidelined, the foundation took charge and carried the Warriors to the most rewarding victory in an already exhilarating season. The home games are rare in January. Enjoy this one as we begin the new year. Warriors Nuggets brought to you by Mercedes-Benz. As the Warriors take the floor, 9 healthy bodies coming off a spectacular win at Houston, but their depth will be challenged, and Denver getting healthy, the Warriors have to find a way to win. Hello, everybody. Bob Fitzgerald alongside Jim Barnett. And I think the Houston win was one of the most rewarding of the season. The Warriors are banged up. There's no way around it. But with 9 guys, they all know they're going to play.
That's exactly right. They're not worried about who's not going to play. They look at this as opportunity. They know what they accomplished in Houston just 2 nights ago as a team, so they'll look forward to this challenge as well.
They do get the MVP back. Steph Curry will play, and he, at 30 points a game, his gravity is what they call it. You have to pay attention to where he is on the floor.
Well, you just know what he can do out there, and it gives you a lot of security, a security blanket. And he'll have a green light. He can take the quick shots tonight. They're not going to do that all the time, but they've got their leader back.
For the Warriors, they passed the ball brilliantly in Houston. In fact, 370 passes. When you watch how they share the ball, yes, they're a great outside shooting team, but you move without the ball, you get rewarded.
Well, they made them pay the price when they double team. Made them pay the price when they didn't get back on defense. Made them pay the price when they got into the passing lanes and overplayed. How many backdoor cuts did we see? Just terrific. And as Bob said, a very rewarding win. I mean, here's a team that came off the worst loss of the season the night before against Dallas. And once again, they did not have Stephen Curry. They could have mailed it in, but that is not in their DNA. They came out and played a perfectly executed game. This is the kind of character that this team has. I thought it was just beautiful passing, so many easy layups, and the guys off the bench, they were just as important as any of the starters.
When you're the world champs, you get everybody's best shot. Denver is getting healthier, and they're ready for tonight. But for the Warriors, they're not going to see Oracle very much in the next month. So they appreciate 150 straight sellouts. The best building in the league. The crowd will help out with 9 healthy Warriors. They're ready for the Nuggets. 30-2 with 50 games left. It starts tonight as Jim and Gary are back in the studio right after this. And it all starts.
Golden State Warriors coming back home. There you see it, Oracle Arena. Not many of those cars are going to drive by. They're going to try to get inside that parking lot and then get inside that building. It is the hottest ticket in the Bay Area without question as the Denver Nuggets come a-calling and the Warriors trying to add another win. They've got 30 of them already this year, and only 2 times they've had blips. I need a key in this game tonight, Saint. What do you got?
Coz, the first 2 games, there's a trend here. Denver tends to turn the ball over against the Warriors. If they can get live ball turnovers, deflections, get out in the open floor, you're going to get a lot of transition layups. I think that's going to be a big difference, along with a few threes.
All right, threes, they can shoot those. Fitz and JB ready. 8th different starting lineup coming up for the Warriors. See you at halftime.
Oracle beginning the new year. And Happy New Year from all of us here at CSN Bay Area and the Warriors. A sold-out Oracle, 150 straight with the Nuggets in town. And only 9 healthy Warriors, but the MVP is back in business. And so for Steph Curry and the Warriors, at 30-2, the best winning percentage ever heading into a new calendar year in NBA history. Our Xfinity starting lineup, Steph Curry, Klay Thompson. Andre Iguodala starts. No Barnes, no Brandon Rush. Draymond Green and Andrew Bogut with Noah Zealy behind him. Jameer Nelson, Gary Harris, Danilo Gallinari, Kenneth Faried, and Nikola Jokic. But Yusuf Nurkic is back for the Nuggets, as is Gallinari. Denver has lost 7 of 8, but they're finally getting healthy.
Well, Gallinari's missed the last 6 games with the ankle sprain. Nurkic, this will be the first game he's played this year. He's going to be limited to 15 minutes, but he had that left patella tendon operated on.
Our Geico Advanced Analytics, the last 5 games versus the Nuggets, the Warriors have been spectacular. 119 points, 33 assists, unreal three-point shooting percentage. But they come off maybe their most rewarding win of the year. Undermanned against Houston and winning on the road. But 9 guys in slate tonight. Lob is hammered home by Iguodala. The last game Andre started in the last 2 years was Game 6 of the finals.
I love his reaction on those lobs. He looks over at the bench. He kind of raises his arms like Alfred E. Newman. What? Me worry? Can't figure it out.
Gallinari off back iron. And so Steph Curry, after missing a couple games, keep an eye on his mobility. Draymond Green 3. And what a beginning.
And he gained a lot of confidence 2 nights ago in Houston with those 16 assists, his 5th triple-double of the year. Draymond Green believes he can do anything. And most of the time, he can. As you said, he's redefining the power forward spot.
Gallinari scoring inside.
Yeah, they missed his scoring. He's their leading scorer. Probably their best shooter.
I think Draymond's game in Houston might have been the best I've ever seen him play. With the 16 assists, he took only 7 shots. He was brilliant offensively and defensively.
He gets a kick out of passing.
His three-point shooting has been a revelation this year. Better than 40%, and he strikes a couple triples.
Well, I guess he's saying, you know, I played 38 minutes the other night, only took 7 shots. I didn't get my share tonight.
Draymond rebounding the Gary Harris miss.
And I'm going to get them early. Remarkable.
Klay Thompson, ticking iron, and that ball was kicked. That'll be Denver ball.
Well, you come out of the gate in dramatic fashion, sending a message, and then Draymond, no hesitation at all. Only 1 pass in that possession.
You see the phrase we call gravity. Everyone gravitates to Curry, which allowed Draymond to be wide open. Shot clock at 7 for Reed inside. Bogut with a rebound. One thing about the Denver Nuggets, they play hard. They've had a ton of injuries. Iguodala, show and go. Draymond, another 3. Why not?
Well, Mike Malone said, I've seen enough. Probably the scouting report, you say, don't leave Stephen Curry, don't leave Klay Thompson. You can take your chance on Draymond Green. And he says, now you can't.
Well, I tell you, it is a new year, but meet the old boss. He's same as the new boss.
Winter.
I'm Draymond Green, and you're watching CSN, the authentic home of the champs.
Welcome back to Oracle Arena. Warriors up 9 on the Nuggets. Stephen Curry's lower left leg bruise was causing swelling that was impacting his shin. So his ability to change directions or stride off of that left leg was bothering him, even when walking. Well, today he feels that he's turned the corner. He's aware of it, but he feels he can do pretty much anything. And sitting out allowed him to see his impact on the game. He said when he's in, the offense is more ball dominant with him using the dribble to set up ball screens. But without it, the team has to pass and move the ball to create open shots and confusion.
Draymond with the steal, dropping it off for Steph Curry.
Now that is a 2-on-1 fast break run perfectly.
And to piggyback on Roz's point, when you do sit and watch, you observe things. 370 passes, second highest total of the year for the Warriors against Houston. And the ball really moved around, and Steph was A1 cheerleader, but also observing the game.
Well, that's what Denver's #1 draft pick is doing right now. Mudiay. Emmanuel Mudiay is out, and it's a learning time for him. Here's the 2-on-1. You split the lone defender, Jameer Nelson. You make one pass, and you complete the play.
Can't run it any better.
But Emmanuel Mudiay is looking to learn from all the point guards. He did it again. Draymond Green, I've never seen him this hot except for that maybe one game in Chicago last year, but he's hit 4 straight.
He's become Draymond Green.
And he hit that off the dribble. Usually he's catch and shoot. He hit that one off the dribble.
Steph Curry holding on to Jameer Nelson. Our good friend Mike Malone, who was a terrific Warrior assistant, I think could have been treated better in Sacramento. One of the real class guys in the NBA, and there's a work ethic and a relentlessness that Denver will benefit from with him on the sideline.
Absolutely.
Huge part of establishing the Warriors' defensive identity. Mike Malone, and 3 misfired.
Well, Mike is a good basketball mind and a good man in general.
Well said. Iguodala for 3. When the Warriors are rolling like this, you're in trouble.
Well, they've made 45 threes in the 3 previous meetings, the 3 previous games against this club. So they have a little mojo working for them. They already have 5 tonight.
Shot clock down to 5. Will Barton's been really hot lately. Curling out that, and Bogut, he was fouled by Jokic as he pulled the rebound with the other hand.
You know, you said something about Will Barton. And when you know a player comes in being hot, you want to take away his game early on. You don't want to give him hope. He's coming off 2 games, 29 against Cleveland, and then 31 against Portland. Those were his last 2 games.
And how about the previous 2 outings against the Warriors? That's when Barton established a lot of that confidence. Steph Curry, tough 3. And rimmed out.
And they had to get it off. The clock is winding down. It was contested.
Gallinari, pumped by Draymond, and he'll get to the line.
He's learned how to put the ball on the floor, Gallinari has. He's not just a catch-and-shoot 3-point shooter after now his 8th year in the league. He's only 27.
He is the last piece of the Carmelo Anthony trade. And finally healthy.
Number 6 overall pick back in 08.
Missing there, the Warriors season ticket priority list. Getting close to 20,000. You get premier access to tickets when they become available. Exclusive pre-sale opportunities for individual tickets at 888-GSW-HOOP. Make that your New Year's resolution. Get on the season ticket priority list. Draymond attacking. He dragged the pivot foot. So that's a travel. (17 of 26 on the road in January and February. A rare home game, and the Warriors enjoying the beginnings at Oracle tonight. January and February is going to be surviving the schedule. And Jokic traveling. Jokic and Nurkic, 2 first-rounders in back-to-back years. Both Serbian, Croatian, Bosnia-Herzegovina basketball players.
And 20 and 21.
Yep, building blocks for the future.
Jokic and Nurkic.
Klay Thompson on the kick out. Draymond's human. Finally missed a 3. And he knocked it away from Gary Harris and off his leg. It's Michigan State on Michigan State. So Jusuf Nurkic, his first game of the year after suffering the knee injury. Iguodala finding Draymond. Steph Curry knocking it away, taking it away from Jameer Nelson. Push ahead play. That was a 1-on-5 break.
They didn't take many quick shots in Houston. They didn't have the personnel to do it.
Look at Barton on the counterattack.
What an amazing year as he is having.
Klay Thompson off a made basket. They run it right back. Malone's going to take a 20-second timeout.
Warriors right now are just too fast, too quick, too good for Denver. Denver doesn't know what hit them. So Will Barton makes the basket, and they get it right in and start loping back. And Klay Thompson got it into overdrive. Easy layup.
Tonight begins 3 games in 4 nights. And the tempo of the schedule is going to really pick up. In January and February, 9 games on the road, 7 games, 16 days of playing, 15 off. Then in February, you do get the All-Star break, but again, only 2 home games. And then the schedule turns in March and April.
Absolutely does. But in January, I think this is the toughest month because you've got to, in the middle of the month, you've got to make that trip back to Chicago and Cleveland and Detroit.
Right.
Then you come back home, play 2 or 3 games, and then you go out 8 days after you've come back from Chicago, back out to Philadelphia, Washington, the Knicks.
And they may have a very special fan that they run into when they go to Washington, D.C.
Oh, yes. Yeah. I hear what you're saying.
That would be Warrior fan number 1.
Yes. And it might be. Is that the guy that lives in the White House?
I've heard of him before. I know he's a big basketball fan.
Yes, he is. He's a big Steph Curry fan.
Yes, he is. And Nurkic a little rusty, losing the handle.
5 turnovers, 6 now for Denver.
Curry tuning up Gallinari. A high-arcing 3 halfway down and out. Martin is at 19 in each of the 2 games against the Warriors. Bogut blocking Nurkic and then rebounding the miss. Draymond's posting up looking to pass, but if no double comes, this is the highest scoring quarter in Draymond Green's career. 16 of the Warriors' 25.
He's getting so polished in so many areas of the game. That last move.
Gary Harris missing Bogut, rebounding everything.
And Draymond loves to go to the middle. Now he goes baseline, gets it up quickly off the board.
Klay missing the 3 short.
They're getting a lot of shot attempts.
Iguodala nearly had the steal. And they'll get Bogut switch and send Nurkic away. And Denver, Gallinari gets to look what I found. But the Warrior defense is sharp early.
First personal, 13 foul.
Barton's progress is diminished there. They still get back and give help, but then the ball takes the nice bounce. Gallinari, he gets the hoop, gets himself to the line where he is very proficient.
Luke Walton is going to use a timeout. When you have only 9 players, the way the frenetic tempo has worked, you want to make sure they stay fresh. What a beginning for the Dubs.
Toyota-thon is on.
25-6 with 16 from Draymond Green. What a first nearly 8 minutes of 2016. Now our Lexus Pursuit of Perfection. There's so many numbers and so many notes for the Warriors, but 39-2 at home a year ago, 15-0. The best record for home wins in a calendar year, Orlando at 42-1. The Warriors tie that. And this streak ain't over. 33 straight wins in this building, and 6 best ever, and moving up the charts.
Last game they lost at home was a giveaway to Chicago in overtime back in January 2015. Gallinari, 90% shooter. Misses the free throw. That's uncharacteristic.
Sean Livingston, one of 4 subs available for Luke Walton tonight.
Well, Gallinari shot just as many free throws, just about within 10 range, and made just as many as Stephen Curry this year, and that's a lot. So he gets to the line more than anyone in that club. But when you're shooting 90% and you're shooting nearly 200 free throws, it's legit.
All right, did you ever watch Star Trek?
Of course.
Remember when people reported to sick bay? just to update everybody, Barbosa is out. Kevon Looney is out. Harrison Barnes is out. James Michael McAdoo is out.
Ezeli is out.
Ezeli is out. And Brandon Rush is out.
Brandon Rush has a sore hamstring.
That is quite the group.
You could be seeing Kevon Looney before the year is out.
I think you see Harrison very quickly.
Yes.
He looked very good in his warm-up today. As Nurkic is fouled. And we check in with Roz.
Yeah, I spoke with training some of the staff around the Warriors about Harrison Barnes' injury, and they said, you know, he's doing his normal strength work right now, and the strength and mobility of his ankle is good. He's progressing well. Right now, it's a lot more about his say and his feel on the court, and the staff is just hopeful that it's sooner rather than later.
Well, the Warriors play Charlotte on Monday, and then go on the road for Lakers, Portland, and Sacramento. So as we said, the games are going to come fast and furious. And so Andrew Bogut tags out with Mo Spates coming in, and Ian Clark, who really has started to play well, checks in for Steph Curry. Luke Walton said he wasn't going to play Steph the whole first quarter, coming back after missing 2 games. As the free throws are split. Livingston from Draymond. Draymond Green, have yourself a quarter. 16, 3, and 3. And it's a blocking foul on Mo Spates. You saw this in Houston. You move without the ball, and the Warriors will dice you up in the half court. Already 10 assists on 11 made field goals.
And they're shooting at 65%. I have seen, they're taking a lot of quick shots, and those are the ones that they missed badly. So, you know, there's an ebb and flow in an NBA game, and you said this, you said it very wisely a few minutes ago, that Denver competes and they don't give up, they play hard, and you start getting a little careless and getting a little too confident, you're going to get that nipped a little bit, because all of a sudden they get something going and you say, gee, what happened? We've seen it happen before. Well, I don't care how good you are.
You mean when the Warriors scored 74 in the first half against this Denver team and then got outplayed the entire second half?
There you go.
Draymond inside, and he is fouled.
Denver foul, shot from Green Mike Miller, first personal, 13th foul. Draymond Green going to the line shooting.
Draymond Green, who is improved so dramatically from a guy who already was first-team All-NBA defense, second in Defensive Player of the Year voting, and a spectacular year in the Warriors championship run. But I don't know that there's a more improved Warrior than Draymond.
Yeah, it's interesting, isn't it? Because he's shown you so many things this year that he didn't do last year. Maybe he did them in little bits and pieces. Now he's doing it every game.
Now, I'll ask you a rhetorical question here, because we see Steph and Clay have these incredible quarters, right? You ever think we'd be sitting down talking about an 18-point quarter for Draymond Green?
Well, I'd answer that, but you said it was rhetorical.
He took 7 shots in the Houston game. It was the best player with 16 assists. He's taken 7 shots in the first quarter. He's the best player with 18 points. And you already know he's first-team all-defense. Spates playing the D on Nurkic.
That didn't let him get to the rim.
Oh, the trail jumper. And it's from his buddy, Sean Livingston.
That's the perfect place for him. A little bit of penetration. He just steps into the shot. That's kind of like Don Nelson used to do with the Celtics. That's a heck of a move by Will Barton. Now, here, Will Barton, drafted by the Blazers, number 40 overall, back in 12. He averaged 4 points a game, 4 points a game, and then 3 points a game. Traded to Denver last year, averaged 11 in the 28 games that he played, 25 games. And now he's averaging 17. He's a legitimate player for most improved player, by the way.
He's found his game. What I'm impressed with Mo is he's guarded Nurkic very nicely in a couple different trips. With Ezeli out, and Spates playing the 5. And a nice feed to Livingston. The foul was before the shot.
Well, Nurkic first game, you know he's going to be rusty. And good old friend Mike Miller. He can still strike threes, so you have to find it.
Mike Miller is one of my favorite guys in this league. Of course. And whether it's with Miami, whether it was with Cleveland, he's been to the finals a couple different times, got a ring. We liked him in Memphis. He's a terrific guy. And the reason Mike Malone has him on the team is because Mike Miller is a pro. He's a pro's pro. We got a lot of young guys in Denver. Oh, on Darrell Arthur, and Arthur committing the foul.
Former teammates in Memphis. Arthur, Mo Spates. I just thought Darrell Arthur's career was going to just keep going upward and just kind of flattened out. I think he's got a world of talent. He can run. He can shoot mid-range jump shots. He's got hops. 2 years at Kansas, 7th year in the league now.
For the Warriors wearing their Slate apparel tonight. Saturday nights are Slate nights. Whether it's the ladies' tee, jackets, knit hats, men's or women's players' jerseys. Largest selection at Warriors.com of everything Slate.
Trying to figure. I used to know the number. I know they had never lost until they lost in Milwaukee in the Slate jerseys.
Only one time in a couple of years wearing these jerseys.
What are they, about 13, 14, and 1?
I'll buy that.
Not as good as this regular season record.
50 games left starting tonight. Darrell Arthur is actually quite a good mid-range jump shooter. Missing there. Jameer Nelson missing the 3. Denver is open 4 of 18. The Warriors 12 of 19. Livingston.
That's his automatic shot. Either baseline. A little below the elbow. 12 feet. Doesn't matter who's defending him. Got one blocked the other day. I think that was the first one this year.
Draymond's got Jameer Nelson on a switch. Shot clock at 9. Martin missing there. The long rebound for Jameer Nelson. Martin doesn't want to settle for outside shots. He wants to attack. Mike Miller, he's a great outside shooter. Denver getting all the opportunities they never won. This is their 5th chance. And they get 0 for 6.
Barton's a 41% three-point shooter, and he takes a lot of them. Missing tonight.
0 for 6 on threes are the Nuggets. Klay Thompson and his triple.
He rushed a couple others. He took his time there. You just saw just a little bit longer in his hand, and he got it up to give it a better chance. Thompson's 1 of 4 from 3. I thought he rushed the first 3, but he missed.
Shot clock off. Jameer Nelson driving and finishing. 2 seconds left. Klay from three-quarter court. That's about the only thing the Warriors missed. When Denver was here last, the Warriors put 40 on them in the first. Denver's back again, 37 tonight. Only 9 healthy Warriors. They build the big lead. They pass it beautifully and get 18 from Draymond Green in the first. Mike Miller opening the second quarter, missing a 3. Warriors need to clean up the defensive rebounding. That's about the only thing that kept them from perfection.
That's one of the pluses for Denver, by the way. They're the 6th best offensive rebounding team in the league. That's what keeps them in games. They do hustle.
So Darrell Arthur, an opportunity for a three-point play, and we check in with Roz.
Yeah, Luke Walton was talking with this lineup with Jason Thompson and Mo Spates in. He said, look, if they're small out there, one of you might have to defend a shooter, so be wary, stay home. But on the other end, if that happens, we'll look to take advantage of the mismatch.
So Jason Thompson pressed into early service, only 9 healthy bodies. Thompson, Spates, with Livingston, Ian Clark, and Iguodala. Oh, tough take inside. Battling for that rebound, and it's still Warrior ball. For Denver, Jameer Nelson with Mike Miller, Will Barton, Darrell Arthur, and Randy Foye. Ian Clark is coming off a wonderful 2-game road trip.
He certainly is.
His career high, and then he was excellent in Houston.
Got 12 in that game and shot it extremely well. 2 of 4 from three-point range. For Thompson, he knows he's going to get a lot of minutes tonight. Probably more than the 12 that he's played this year in 1 game, which was his season high with minutes.
Well, Arthur doing work.
He's got a vast array of ways to score.
Well, you and I have liked him for a long time.
I just think he's got some talent. But sometimes you can't float along. You got to play every second out on this court.
And Barton coming up with a steal. And this is where Will Barton excels. The open floor. He's terrific.
He got 31 against the Warriors previously here. Yeah, he knows how to get the ball in the basket. Remember how good he was in garbage time?
Yep.
He's one of the guys that brought him back after the Warriors did score the 74 points in the first half.
Nobody can identify garbage time players better than you, Jim.
There's a reason why. I'm not confessing.
Shot clock at 3. Iguodala's got the size mismatch. And shoots over Jameer Nelson.
Nicely done. And defense to myself on this. I played with the Celtics. They blew out a lot of teams.
That's just what I was going to say. I mean,
it was in the DNA for them.
You're a rookie on a team that was winning 11 championships. Of course you were coming in to score when the score was mismatched at times.
Send you in the first half to take a foul on purpose. Send you in the second half when you have a 28-point lead. That was Bill Russell's M.O.
Now, why don't you argue with that Hall of Fame coach? Hey, Russ, I need to get my touches. I need to get different minutes.
It's a little different. You know what that would have done? They would have traded me immediately the next day. That's what would happen. Or else wave you.
Trying to feed Arthur. They've got enough shooters around the arc. Shot clock at 7. And they get it back to Arthur. What a block by Livingston. Sean Livingston playing the D.
I think it surprised Darrell Arthur. Got a jump shot there.
And Livingston to the line. That's your backup point guard sending a power forward away.
Well, he's got hops. He is a great 2-foot jumper. Evidence there. I mean, he just made him eat that one. That's a sandwich. They used to use Wilson basketballs. Now they use a different kind. They used to call that a Wilson burger.
I got to finish this. Red Auerbach would have traded you if you said, hey, I got to talk about touches and playing time. My favorite story along those lines back in the day was Vince Lombardi.
Yes.
He had Jim Ringo come in and say, hey, I'd like a new contract. Talk to my agent. Lombardi left the room. He came back. He said, you can talk to your agent. You'll be playing for Kansas City. Times have changed, Jimmy. Times have changed.
Remember Dave Cowens was player coach with the Celtics? We'll talk about that in a second. People were complaining because they weren't playing very well.
Shot clock at 5. Boy, hanging and missing. Jason Thompson with a rebound.
So what Dave Cowens said, he came back to all of them. He said, you know what? We've called everybody in the league. Nobody wants any of you. So we better work it out together.
Ian Clark with a nice drive and floater.
Ian Clark is a smart player.
Here Nelson for 3.
He's having a tough year, 31%. He's better than that. He likes this arena for shooting threes. He's had great games there, whether Orlando or with Denver. Good shooting nights.
Jason Thompson will be fouled here, Jim, but he's taken the ball twice, and they've been individual post-ups. And I think if he just focuses on moving the ball, rebounding, defending, he'll fit in. The Warriors up big.
Toyota-thon is on places.
Welcome back to Oracle Arena. Warriors up 18 on the Nuggets. And in tonight's Forward Right Choice, we celebrate the fact that the Warriors have now sold out for 150 consecutive games. And to discuss that, I'm joined by team president Rick Welts. Hey, Rick, Happy New Year.
Happy New Year, Roz.
Thank you. You know, I was thinking about this, and I was thinking about the fan that decides to take their family to a game or even become a season ticket holder. How do you make sure that they come away feeling that their investment was worth it?
Well, this helps, right? Having the best team in the NBA is certainly, putting a great team on the floor is part of the product. But, listen, these fans, their loyalty, their passion, year in, year out, no matter what that team on the court was doing is, it's legendary within the NBA. And, we just do everything we can every night to make their experience as good as it could possibly be.
And I know you have great experience, even outside of the Warriors with the NBA. What makes the Golden State fan unique?
I think teams really fear coming here to play. If you're a visiting player, this is not the place you want to come play. And it's taken years and years and years to build that. The team we have on the floor right now has taken that to a whole different level. So we're so thankful. 150 sellouts is about the fans. It's not about the organization. And these fans are the best.
Awesome. Thank you so much for your time, Rick.
By the way, we are that 10th roster spot tonight. If things go south on us, we're counting on you. Okay?
I keep basketball sneakers in the trunk of my car. I'm ready.
Okay, stay tuned.
Whatever the team needs.
Yeah, I can tell you, Rick Welts, she can shoot the basketball. I've seen her. She has a very nice touch, although she was known as a defensive player at Stanford.
Well, I tell you, with Roz and Jim, broadcasting-wise, we're set with hoops. I'll just coach. And Warrior fans already know. I mean, Steph Curry, basketball-wise, Rick Welts, business-wise. He is so modest, but Sports Franchise of the Year, that's in every sport. That was in 2014. And he and Gail Hunter have spearheaded the Arena Project in San Francisco with a work ethic that is just to be absolutely admired. So Joe Lacob, Peter Guber, and Rick Welts, there's a big reason why there's going to be an iconic venue in San Francisco in a couple of years. 150 straight sellouts. What a night. Klay Thompson off the screen. And missed that short. So Jason Thompson, Klay Thompson, Ian Clark, Steph Curry, and Iguodala. With Darrell Arthur, Will Barton, Gary Harris, Jameer Nelson, and Danilo Gallinari for Denver. See the Warriors with a big lead, but what's impressive is the 29% shooting they're holding Denver to right now.
You don't stop that.
Darrell Arthur. Talk about a backup big with great intermediate jump shooting skills, good rebounder, good size. We've liked him at every stop. He just hasn't found the right place for him. Steph Curry dropping it down. And Jason Thompson, move the ball and you'll be rewarded.
Yeah, and that's a good lesson for Jason Thompson. He can pass the ball too, but even if he's at the low post, he'll come back to him. He sets the screen, Curry's going to find him.
Gary Harris going inside. Harris is improving, former #1 pick.
Yes, he is.
Another Michigan State guy who played for Izzo. Jason Thompson can't handle that pass.
Well, Harris is only 21 as well. Well, they've got a pretty good young nucleus.
35, Kenneth Reed returns. We're going to say Draymond Green back on the floor.
So Darrell Arthur will sit with 6 points and 3 boards. Draymond had the highest scoring quarter of his career.
Well, Draymond Green's back on the floor. Now, Draymond Green, we talked about his superlatives. He played the first quarter, the entire 12 minutes. 18 points, but he also had 4 rebounds and 4 assists and a steal to boot. Another block shot. I mean, that's filling up the stat sheet.
Shot clock at 7.
Curry knows Jameer Nelson. He took every opportunity to take away his strength.
Will Barton can't finish. See Denver continue to hustle. They have done this every time they've played the Warriors. Even if they get down big, they do not give up. And Fareed tracking down another miss.
One of the most ferocious offensive rebounders in the league, Kenneth Fareed.
Now, you don't get the Manimal nickname by being a shy, retiring sword.
And
Gallinari, the shooter's roll.
they get a deuce. Second chance play again.
So the 26-point lead at 15. It's a credit just to how hard Denver continues to play. Remember, there's only 9 healthy Warriors, so that can have a lot of bodies in reserve as Klay Thompson is fouled. Will take us to the stoppage with 5:25 remaining in the half. Warriors shooting it at 59%, limiting Denver to 33% from the field.
Toyota Thorn is...
Our AT&T U-verse Rewind. The NBA season high, 40 assists, 28 in the first half against the Nuggets. That's why when the Warriors get 35 against Houston, you don't assume it's a season high, because this team is #1 in assists. They've been over 30 15 different times, and they move the ball like few others. Franchise record 46 in a game. They came against Denver.
To get 35 assists without Stephen Curry, though, pretty impressive.
I
Get
think
7 from Sean Livingston in Houston. And off the bench, 11 assists from 4 people.
Now, I didn't ask you this, and we didn't talk about it in the open. I thought the game in Houston was the most rewarding win of the season.
Yes.
Because given the injuries, without Steph, the way they had played in Dallas, back end of a back-to-back, it would have been so easy. Hey, it's New Year's, mail it in, 2-game trip, just fly home. And yet, it was a brilliant performance.
We've seen so many double-digit victories. We've seen so many incredible offensive performances from Klay Thompson and certainly Stephen Curry, game after game after game. They kind of blend in. There's another, well, almost a turnover, but Fareed comes up with it with the good hands. But that's a game in Houston that you will remember.
Yep.
You know, you remember that Stephen wasn't there in the way they played and the number of layups they got in half-court situations on back cuts. I've never seen so many. It was beautifully done.
Steph also had an interesting quote at shoot-around. If it was up to him, he would have played in that game. And he said that would have been the wrong decision. Physically, he did not feel good enough, but he wanted to be there for his teammates. Yet, they protected the player from himself as Curry hits the 3. And just
Finally gets that off his back.
Yeah. The streak continues. Kyle Korver, the only man to make more than 104 in a row, 1 per game or more. Draymond finding Steph again. The pump fake. And Draymond Green the rebound.
Whoops, that's backcourt.
Backcourt violation.
That's a trick from Bill Russell. You just, you know, you play defense, you never go into the front court, and it cost them a turnover there. Bogut was still in the back court, and Draymond Green assumed he'd stepped over the line. He thought the ball was going to be, when Curry took the shot, Bogut said, hey, it's automatic. I'm not going to waste my time running into the front court. Defending Gallinari. They can take a 3 and he got it.
Deep 2 with a foot on the line. So it's a 15-point game after the Warriors had led by 26. The Nuggets are very young, but they have a lot of character. They continue to play hard.
They rotated perfectly there.
Iguodala right down the lane.
Started with a pick and roll. Looked like Draymond Green was going to score. He had to rotate the ball. The defense came over. They played it well, but then they move it around. When you make the extra pass, you find someone open, and he went right down the gut of the defense.
Mike Malone going to stop it. Can't have defensive breakdowns like this. And Andre Iguodala right in your living room and dunking on your sofa. Warrior lead at 52-35. Our Shamrock Alpha Solutions Play of the Week. James Michael McAdoo, his offensive rebound, and then the kick out for the Iguodala 3. That began a 10-0 run near the end of the third quarter. It really was the springboard to winning that game in Houston.
And that was the same time of the game when he picked the ball at half court waiting for the dunk. They stepped into the passing lane, got the steal.
And Iguodala against his former squad.
Let's watch this double team. You drop up to Draymond Green. The weak side defender, Fareed, comes over. You make the extra pass. You get a deflection. See, they may take away your first option. They may take away your second option. But when you keep moving the ball, you're going to break down the defense. They're not going to be able to catch up.
And if you're wondering, yes, they keep track of dunks, and the Warriors have the most dunks in the NBA. Gallinari has a nice move. He spun on a good defender in Clay and then rode to the rim. For Denver, they're thinking, hey, single digits by halftime. They were getting blown out down 24 at the end of the first. Last time they were here, the Warriors had a huge lead at the break. They got outplayed the whole second half. The Nuggets, Draymond is fouled on the rebound.
He just outworks people. Simple as that. The tenacity, the determination that Draymond Green has is unmatched. I'd say fighting for a rebound in this game, Fareed would match that kind of intensity. Fareed and Green.
But
watch them fight for the ball.
You said that Steph Curry is going to redefine part of the game.
Yes.
Okay. Are teams going to look at, quote, undersized power forwards if they are four-year college players that win all the time, that have a variety of skills, and say, well, he's 6'6", 6'7", but maybe I won't dismiss him next time because of Draymond?
They'll look at those players that have those kinds of skills in college. But do they have the work ethic of Draymond Green?
Okay.
That's going to be the difference. I think there are a lot of guys that are built like him that have that kind of talent. But he's got something special, and that's in his heart. That's in his heart and his will.
So the free throws missed, and then Jameer Nelson making it a 13-point game.
Always looking to improve his Draymond. Well, he's got a little post up here, but they switched.
That's Jason Thompson moving the ball. That's playing with the starters and the good players the right way.
That's going to make him feel very good. Nicely done.
Shot clock at 8. The crowd Gallinari, and Livingston had his hand in the cookie jar there, called for the foul.
Gallinari's smart. Very, very clever. This is the one before. You look under for Livingston, from Jason Thompson. Just go underneath the defense there, behind them, and they can't see you.
Happy for Jason. His first 2 times he touched the ball were individual post-ups.
Yeah, got fouled on one and other missed.
The last 2 times he moved without the ball, was rewarded with a layup. That time, little tic-tac-toe, he got the assist.
He replaces Stephen Curry.
So Steph likely to sit here in the final 2 minutes. Saw briefly Bogut getting stretched out. The Warriors are just down so many players that can't afford to lose anybody. Now with 3 games in 4 nights. Draymond from deep, and another 3. 5 on the game.
5 for 6, 83%. 7 of 8 overall.
Will Barton always attacking. He's going to draw a foul from. It's going to go on Livingston.
Amazing story about Will Barton. As I said before, averaged 4 points a game, then 4 points a game in Portland, 3, and got traded last January.
Now, what clicks in terms of, is it just opportunity? Is it continuing to work? He's just a different player.
You do get more minutes, but you also work on your shooting, because his first year in the league, he shot just under 14% from three-point range. After 3 years, after 4 years, pardon me, 23%. This year, he's at .407. Wow. From a three-point range. So you go from a career 23% shooter to 41%. That means you've worked.
And he's always been a good slasher. That was kind of his game before.
You expand your game, so you're not as predictable. You can take him.
Shot clock at 5. Play rising.
That's exactly what Gallinari wanted him to do. He said, if I can take him, make him take a three-point shot, I'm going to contest it. I've won the battle. If he makes the shot, then he earned it. But he would not let him get around him. I thought Clay was going to take him off the dribble. Gallinari evidently prevented it.
Here Jameer Nelson dropping in the jumper. The good news, bad news for the Warriors is that even with Clay 2 of 8 and Steph 2 of 6, the team is shooting 58%. But your 26-point lead is at 14, and the Nuggets have been very spicy here in the second. Klay Thompson will catch and shoot. It's a deep 2. Final minute of the first half. The Warriors brilliant in the first. The Nuggets grinding their way back into the game here in the second.
I think the Warriors will like that shot because they have a chance to make a 2-for-1 situation here.
It's a foul on Fareed, so that'll be free throws.
Nuggets foul, shot.
And automatically you're going to get the last shot of the quarter if you don't allow them to get an offensive rebound, that is. It's the best of all worlds.
So Ezeli, Brandon Rush, Harrison Barnes, James Michael McAdoo, Leandro Barbosa, Kevon Looney. Warriors are down a bunch of bodies.
When you haven't had a lot of minutes, it's kind of lonely at the free throw line. Doesn't feel natural for you. That's only free throws attempted 11 and 12 for Jason this year.
Well, JT's got 4 points, 2 rebounds, 2 assists in 8 first half minutes. Jameer Nelson missed that layup and foul on the top of the head.
Ian Clark got caught there. He had him, he thought, under control, and he thought he was just going to pull up. He looked around to see if there was any help, and that's when he lost it, and that's when Jameer Nelson attacked.
Dropping in the free throw. You can get Klay Thompson and Rocco immortalized in their bobblehead. That'll be against the Lakers. And that is Kobe's final visit to Oracle.
Yes.
First 10,000 fans get the Klay Thompson bobblehead at Warriors.com. And I say it's Kobe's final visit to Oracle because I'm going to go out on a limb and say the Lakers will not be a playoff team.
Pretty safe in saying that.
So Mike Malone playing the possession game here. He's going to play the little intentional foul situation. Where are you on that, Jim, on the hack of Bogut or hack of DeAndre Jordan or things like that? Is it?
It's something that's always been around.
I mean, people forget the away from the play rule was because Wes Unseld used to be fouled intentionally off the ball. But would you change it? Would you eradicate it? Would you allow it? What would you do?
No, because I think if you're on the floor, you're part of the game, and that's part of the game.
Okay.
And if you take that chance, and so either keep him on the floor or you take him off the floor, and those are coaching decisions. I think it makes the game more interesting.
Reed missing there, and the Warriors could play for one if they won.
They should.
And they're going to keep fouling Jason Thompson. I mean, people don't like it because it's not a great-looking part of the game. But I back you up, Jim. If you're a poor defender, guess what? They post you up and they work you all night.
Yes.
You're a poor free throw shooter, you need to work on your free throwing.
Let's see if Jason can put 2 together here.
Way to release, gentlemen.
And with the lead, you really only need to make 1 out of 2 because a point per possession is outstanding, and he hits 2 right in Denver's face. So they fouled him intentionally. He's made 3 of 4. Does give Denver the final possession, final 5 seconds.
Good help from Thompson there.
Martin over Iguodala and dropping it in. So the Denver Nuggets, they're not going to go away. The Warriors hold them to 40% shooting. They had the lead as high as 26. But the Nuggets shaved 10 off before the break. 63-47 at halftime. Jim Kozimor, Gary St. Jean get ready for Warriors Halftime Live. And Roz is awaiting. Andre Iguodala, take it away.
No, yeah, Andre, you get your first start since Game 6 of the NBA Finals. You enjoy being back in that role for a moment?
No, I just playing basketball. You know, to be honest with you, we got 5 guys down. Really tough on our bodies right now. It's kind of the dog days of the season, so this is where like the championship heart comes through. So we're playing all right. Playing all right.
You know, with all the players that are down with injury, there are some actually interesting and creative lineups and rotations out there. Is it ever confusing or awkward, or you just guys click all the time with each other?
Well, that's the point of practice. You put in situations, scenarios that you may not see in a game. And that's what a team is built for. You know, you got 14, 15 guys for a reason, and it's not just to play 8 or 9 guys, play all 15, and tonight's one of those nights.
Thanks, Andre.
Thanks.
Guys.
All right, Roz, and Andre's right. Different combinations. Warriors working out on the practice court. At the 16-point lead at halftime. Coz and Saint, Warrior Halftime Live is on the way.
Of the NBA.
All right, if I were to tell you that Klay Thompson and Steph Curry would combine for just 5 of 15 shooting and a half of basketball, would you think that the Warriors were able to go up 16 on a team? Well, that's what's going on right now at Oracle Arena. Warriors in search of another home court win. They've won 33 consecutive there. Gary St. Jean, Jim Kozumor with you. Well, when the backcourt isn't shooting well, someone has to get the job done. Michigan State's Draymond Green has been fabulous. His first quarter was brilliant.
Co's absolutely brilliant, and we know that Mama Green is watching back in Michigan, and she's really proud of her son tonight because he is on fire. He's got 21. He's 5 of 6 from 3. He might be on his way to another triple-double. He's just loading it up.
Yeah, you're looking at a guy who had 18 in the first quarter, and his career high is 31. He's well on his way with 21, 6 rebounds, 5 assists. Could we see another triple-double? We'll talk about what to expect next. Warriors have a lead here at the half, 63-47 the score, Saint. But the second half, let's see what the Warriors need to do. What's your key?
Give it to Green. Let him touch the basketball. He is playing at such a high level now, whether it's scoring, passing, running the fast break, just playing perfect basketball. And it's allowed Steph and Klay to have a little subpar first half, and you still have a commanding lead.
5 triple-doubles, looking for number 6.
6 it is.
Fitz and JB, keep your eye on it. It could happen.
Happy birthday to
Our Jack in the Box at the half with the Warriors up 16. Now, the first quarter, the Warriors scored 37, but in the second quarter, they allow 34. Steph Curry is back, but he and Klay Thompson have not shot it particularly well. The story of the first half is Draymond Green. Hey, he's been incredible.
Well, the Warriors were ready to play tonight. You can see that. They came out of the gate, and they just kind of, it was a blitz against Denver. They hit 6 threes. Denver missed all 6 of their threes. It almost came too easy for them. But Denver's the type of team, they're unfazed by that.
Yep.
They're going to make you battle all the time, particularly on the offensive glass.
Now, the Warriors have only 9 healthy players, so some odd combinations, but the ball movement was still there. I think from the Houston game, the unselfishness has continued.
Well, you know, this is a team that's playing with a lot of confidence, and when you get that, it's kind of memory. You know, it comes right back to you. You know, move the ball around, good things happen. So they share it like that, and everybody gets in on the act. In the second quarter, you know, this is the way the NBA is. Denver is an NBA team, so they're going to start hitting some of their shots. They start working a little bit harder. If you relax, you get burned in this league. The Warriors were outscored in that second quarter by 8.
And you look at Draymond Green, the best scoring quarter of his career in the KFC bucket chart. Draymond 7 of 8. The threes, the inside play, and then, oh, by the way, he still rebounds the ball and passes the ball. He's just had a wonderful first half.
He just puts up so many stats. Yes, he's got the 21 points, 7 of 8 shooting, 5 of 6, as you see on the little green dots from three-point range, but 6 rebounds and 5 assists. And the Warriors still at 60%, but the lead was cut into in the second quarter.
Not much of a bench tonight with only 4 bodies. You are up 16, but Denver had the edge in play in the second. Warriors with the double-digit lead in the third quarter on the way. Getting ready to start the second half with the Warriors up 16. Moments ago, our Ross Goldon-Woode got up with Warrior assistant Jaron Collins.
Coach Collins, with only 9 players dressed, how did you guys plan for minutes distribution, and also how did that limit you in your game planning?
Well, a lot of adjustments are on the fly. You go with the guys you got, and we're going to try to rotate guys in and out, not to wear them down. But at the end of the day, you just got to play with the players that are available.
One of the guys that you've got is Draymond Green, and he continues to stuff the stat sheet. What is it that differentiates this guy?
His all-around ability. He's improved year in and year out. Now he's added that dimension of being a knockdown three-point shooter. On any given night, he's capable of going out there and getting a triple-double. So he's really stepped up his play, and we're going to rely on him a lot in the second half.
All right, thanks, Coach.
All right, Happy New Year. Thanks.
Same to you.
Well, Draymond only leads the Warriors in points, leads the Warriors in rebounds, and leads the Warriors in assists for the first half. Other than that, Jim, I'm not quite sure what he did in the game.
He's something special, and he loves the game of basketball.
Now, he got a technical at the end of the first half with he and Fareed. And so they assigned Draymond the tee, and that technical free throw made. So we begin the second half with a 15-point game. And then Barton is fouled. So now Steph Curry also, Jim, will not return to the game. He was hit on that left shin where he has the lower leg injury. And so
he was hit again?
He was hit again in the first half. And so the Warriors go from 9 to 8 players and without the MVP.
He might have been going for a loose ball just over the half-court line. Long rebound came out, got tapped. Went fighting for it. Got a little bit of a collision there.
So the free throw split by Barton. So Ian Clark, Klay Thompson with Iguodala, Bogut, and Draymond. 8 Warriors in a 14-point lead at home. A Nugget squad that is getting Gallinari back and Nurkic back. And Denver owning that second quarter 34-26. So this game just got a lot more interesting. Backdoor pass, and Draymond didn't catch it cleanly, but still able to finish.
Well, you heard assistant coach Jaron Collins say we're going to depend on Draymond in the second half. He embraces that. He welcomes that. He loves the offense to run through him.
Gallinari had Ian Clark briefly on a switch. Bogut, it's not only the shots you block, it's the shots you change. That time Barton had to pull up with an odd push shot.
Well, he makes you think about it.
Iguodala's got Jameer on the post-up. Ian Clark is shooting 49% on threes for the year as he buries a triple.
The nice thing about him, he doesn't force it.
Nope. Okay.
He played 4.5 minutes the first half. Didn't take a three.
Gary Harris flipping it up and in. Ian Clark a couple years ago in the Warriors Summer League. And then went to Utah. The Warriors always liked him. Gave an opportunity as Klay Thompson hits the mid-range.
Not many people in this league capable of making that shot.
No.
You stop on a dime there, and you turn around 360. You really don't have your balance. The defender's in your face. Well, a little bit of a collision there. Bogut did crowd him. That is a foul. He thinks that he fell, and maybe a little bit of acting. That did look like kind of a soccer play in Europe.
Bogut had a word for Gallinari and then a kind of a wry smile. I think the problem with Bogut is he'll say, hey, look, if you want me to hit you next time, I'll hit you. Lob into Fareed. Klay came nicely to help out. Klay Thompson rising, drifting, and firing it in.
How about inside out? Inside out. Don't take the first look. One man runs through when he gets too crowded on the same side of the court. And then Thompson has a little room to work with.
Mike Malone has his team playing hard, but the Warriors are reminding everyone they're the world champs.
Post-game live. Other NBA action tonight. Warriors' next opponent, the Hornets. Thunder, of course, winners of 6 of the last 7. They've been on a roll. Pick it up in the third quarter. Kevin Durant gives it up, gets it back, hits the jumper. KD finished with 29 points and 11 rebounds. Thunder win 109-90. Let's send it back to JB and Fitz at Oracle.
I tell you, Kelly, OKC comes to Oracle the night before the Super Bowl. That's February 6th. The Spurs are here January 25th. I can't wait for those two games. It'll be the first time the Warriors see the Spurs, and the first time that they see the Thunder is Fareed rebounding the Jameer Nelson miss.
That's not the first time we've seen him do that.
Manimal on the glass.
He worked on his outside shot, you know, the 12 to 15 footer. He just has not come around for him. They make him so much more dangerous. Kenneth Faried, I like him a lot.
And Clark flipping it in.
Bogut's man he got locked up. He couldn't give help, so Ian actually had 2 screens. His own man, as well as a defender.
Gary Harris misfiring. We've been out and about on the holiday weekend. You're just getting home. The Warriors are playing with 8 players. Steph Curry played the first half and re-injured the shin that had been bothering him on the left leg.
Don't like that.
So he's not playing in the second half. 8 guys. And Draymond to the line. And how do the Warriors respond being shorthanded? Shooting 64% offensively and limiting Denver to 40% defensively.
26-point lead in the first quarter.
Draymond hitting the free throw.
Getting close to that again.
Warrior fans, time to dub the vote. Presented by JBL. Get the Warriors to the All-Star game every day and every way. Warriors.com/dub the vote. And Draymond Green, he should be an All-Star. Draymond, Steph, and Clay. The Warriors should have 3 in Toronto.
Not automatic, but it should be.
Well, when you're 30-2 and you're the defending champs and you're already was second in Defensive Player of the Year, and right on cue, Draymond with a steal. The lob to Iguodala, and Barton bothered it, and Andre couldn't catch it anyway.
Well, as I said before, Atlanta had 5 All-Stars last year. A little hyperbole for them.
Sending Fareed away. Draymond was there. Here comes the Draymond Express. Pass to Clark. He couldn't catch it. Here comes Gallinari out of the pack. That's a nice delivery and the foul.
Well, he got there so quickly, and the delivery came. Bogut couldn't make the turn and get his big body underneath him. See, he's coming down. He just could not recover on it. He took Fareed's shot away, made him a passer, but he was a little late getting to Gallinari.
You know what I liked about that play for Gallinari, Jim, is that some players that are great outside shooters, they just start living in the outside. He never cut to the basket, never used his size.
He used to do that a little more often. In New York, we saw that. He'd settle for that. Doesn't do that anymore.
Batted out to Jameer Nelson. And Denver's got a freebie. Yeah, the Nuggets will not go away. You don't have Steph Curry. You've got 8 guys in uniform. You had the big lead early. The Warriors are playing well, but they're going to need to continue to play well. Good rotation. Bogut tipping a couple times. And here comes Denver. Will Martin, an improved 3-point stroke, missing there. Look at Fareed work on the glass.
Jameer Nelson. You know, you kind of underestimate him, but he does a lot of good things.
So you saw Gallinari go in and dunk, that time missing the three, but at his size, he can do both. They went to throw that lob. Iguodala knows he can shoot over Jameer Nelson, but finding an open Draymond Green. Martin slicing. Finding three. I tell you, the Nuggets are passing quite well. Making it back to the halftime margin of 16. Denver, scrappy. The Warriors still on top.
Anywhere.
Welcome back to Oracle Arena. Warriors up 16 on the Nuggets. Ian Clark told me that the most daunting moment in his career was halfway through last season when he was waived by the Utah Jazz. He was later picked up by the Denver Nuggets, but he was tentative in his limited playing time of just 4.4 minutes a game. So he knew that NBA Summer League would be crucial to the continuation of his career, and he wanted to establish that he could run the 1 and 2, play make, score, and defend. And now with the Warriors, he's taking advantage of the opportunity. But guys, he's still got to settle in off of the court. He finally just moved into an apartment. The first 2 months of the season, he was living in the Marriott Hotel above the practice facility.
Well, I tell you, Roz, when you think of how the Warriors use Summer League and how they find players, and that's a credit to Kirk Lacob and Travis Schlenk, Larry Riley, Larry Harris, Jerry West, Bob Myers, and just the eye for talent throughout the organization. But I credit Ian for winning the last roster spot, Jim, with all the different training camp invitees.
There was a lot of competition, particularly at that spot. He'll be 25 in March, just a couple of months from now, March 7th.
Do that on a world championship roster. That's saying something. Shot clock at 3. And a wild shot by Gallinari, and Draymond will push. Way off the curl on the lob. And that's an improvement for Klay Thompson this year. He can always score, but now he's in the midst of playmaking for others.
Trying to get Bogut on the board. Not that he's concerned. I love those plays when they make the lob, you draw a defender away, and you're on the same page.
Klay shoots it, it's a good play. He makes that pass, it's a great play. Jameer Nelson. Fareed still working, but Bogut walled him off. Thompson off the curl. Bogut set the screen, and the shooters roll.
His follow-through enabled him to do that. Got it over the front of the rim. He stayed with it. He knew it was a little bit short. He just kind of willed that one in.
Shot clock at 4. Sneaking inside. Jameer Nelson with the finish.
That's a freebie for him. Near turnover.
Klay Thompson. Bring that out. Gary Harris will push it back. Warriors are up 16 at halftime. It's been hanging right around that number, but a foul on the rebound.
Warriors foul charge to Andrew Bogut.
So Bogut's got 4. So you're playing with 8 guys. And now Bogut has 4 fouls with 3:42 left in the third. So Speights and Livingston will check in. Will Barton with Gallinari, Jameer Nelson, Kenneth Fareed, and Gary Harris. Speights, Draymond, Livingston, Ian Clark, and Klay Thompson. Gallinari feed set. That 3 rattled out.
Important minutes for Maurice Speights. He's got to block off every time on the defensive glass.
Speights thought about that 3. Shot clock at 5. Ian Clark gets around Fareed to flip it up and in.
Really nice move. He knew he was going to get that three-point shot stuffed by Fareed. He said, okay, I've got just enough time to make a move. Nice little crossover and carried it in on 1 foot.
Barton fouled. You know who Ian Clark looks like here with the Rams shot of the game?
Go ahead.
He looks like Steph Curry.
Well, see this? No hesitation there. If you come to a 2-foot plant, it gives Fareed time to get to you and block the shot. But you take it, that is a lot like Curry because he shot the ball on the way up. But you go right off the dribble, that 1 step, and go off 1 leg. You don't give the defense time to recover. That's exactly why he got it off.
So if you're new to Ian Clark, you say, wow, 49% three-point shooter. He's a small guy. Maybe he lives around the perimeter and just shoots threes. When the shot clock's under 5, you have to be able to do that as a little man in the NBA. Make something out of nothing. And he just did that around Fareed. As you pointed out perfectly, Jim, he knew what he needed to do. I've beat him, but he'll recover. And I've got to get this up and not come to that stop.
If he comes to a quick 2-foot plant, that ball is blocked and swatted away. Doesn't matter how high you jump. The bigger man's going to get there a little higher.
Oh, had the right idea. Draymond couldn't handle that hot pass. Gary Harris running it right back to lay it in.
He got speed.
Back to 16. Draymond on the return pass. Speights with the rebound and the finish. He'll draw the foul, and Mo Buckets working the glass.
He got hungry there. He didn't stand and watch. He went from one side to the other after the miss. And he just wanted that ball. Great play. Easy way to get points. Just requires a little bit of work, a little bit of positioning.
You said these were important minutes for Mo Speights. He and Jason Thompson have been absolutely needed tonight.
Speights not getting near as many minutes as he did last year, so he knows that.
Gary Harris is improved.
You see how you just sliced it there again, just go off 1 foot, and all of a sudden, everybody just watching instead of reacting. He's already by them.
He's averaging 11 in a game, 46% shooter, 36% on threes. Oh, tough fadeaway. Will Barton will handle. Gallinari knows Bogut's not there. Mo did the right thing. Jumped straight up. Brendan Gallinari with the finish.
He did gather himself there because Mo was already in position. Took the rim of the... Well, Clay comes back with an answer.
St. Thompson's three. Every time Denver surges, the Warriors keep them at bay.
Can they continue to do so?
Knocked away, but right back to Nelson. Gallinari from deep. So Gallinari is having a night. He's got 20.
He knows how to fill it up. When you're in trouble, he's a good man to find.
Draymond to Speights, and he's undercut. And then smartly threw the ball out to try to get a shot attempt. James Capers is too smart. He's not buying that.
Well, what's Arthur supposed to do on this? They throw the ball. Oh, yeah, he can't. He backed up. Okay. Yep, he wasn't there. He backed underneath him, taking up that space. And he got caught.
So Draymond's going to get the rest and a great hand. What a night. A couple assists away from another triple-double. He already leads the NBA in that department with 5. Speights missing the jumper there, but that was kind of the freebie. Denver going to take a quick one. How about Gallinari? Between two Warriors tipping that in. We're looking at a 13-point game. Warriors own the first, but Denver has been very good since.
If you don't block someone out, you got to out quick and you got to out jump him. They didn't do that last time for Gallinari.
Shot clock at 5. Ian Clark quick on quick. And made it anyway. Jameer Nelson played good defense.
Ian Clark just shows you a lot of different looks, doesn't he? He can put it on the floor and finish.
Third great game in a row for Ian Clark, and Jameer Nelson right back at him. So that will end the third. But Denver's in the game. It's a 13-point lead heading into the fourth. No Steph Curry, 8 healthy Warriors, and 12 minutes left to play. Toyota game summary. The Warriors began the game with 9 players, lose Steph Curry for the second half with a re-injury to that lower left leg. Draymond Green's 25, including the high-scoring quarter of his career to begin things in the first, leading the way. But Ian Clark has 4 straight games in double figures, and they have needed him tonight with 11 more. Jason Thompson tipping. Mo Spates knocked it off of Nelson. Good effort by JT and Mo Spates.
What's happened in this game, the Warriors have allowed the last 2 quarters to be 30-point scoring quarters for Denver. 34 in the second, 30 last game. Now, in the last quarter, excuse me. 5 of 23 shooting in the first quarter, 14 of 24 in the second, 12 of 26. But they've got 18 offensive rebounds, and that's the difference in their game. That's kind of hustle they give you.
No, and I would say that's a credit and testament to Denver's work ethic. Yeah, they could have just got rolled after that first quarter. Mike Miller took the contact, but Mo went straight up. Randy Foye on the re-steal. Will Barton all day to set it up and drop in the 3.
See, that cost them, the Warriors, 4 turnovers in the third quarter, cost them 7 points. Denver only turned it over twice for 2, and the turnover there cost them 3.
Here are the Nuggets.
Yes, they are.
Within 10 after trailing by 26. And you're not going to have Curry down the stretch.
Denver has more offensive rebounds than they do defense.
Clock at 5. Livingston trying to find that rhythm.
Jameer Nelson did a smart thing there. He went on the shooting hand side, went to the side of Livingston. Didn't stay between him and the basket.
Well, that would have been a big shot for Barton. Could have made it a 7-point game. Livingston, Jason Thompson, Spates, Ian Clark, and Iguodala. And Livingston, clever delivery.
I might have said Jameer Nelson, I mean Randy Foye. And that last defensive play. He's strong.
Jason Thompson's going to end up with a season high in everything. In terms of minutes, points, rebounds. Impressed in the service tonight. A touch foul on Mike Miller, but that's still the right thing to do. You can't just give Miller an open 3. A shooter like that starts to get hot, you're going to have a problem. Well, Arthur's had a nice game. He drops in points 7 and 8. Foye and Jameer Nelson, Darrell Arthur, Will Barton, Mike Miller for Denver. And Oracle's starting to murmur a little bit.
Darrell Arthur makes a lot happen in a few minutes. He doesn't need a lot of minutes to do some damage. I like players like that.
Thompson and Miller went for the post-up.
But he never got him to the paint.
Nuggets make it single digit. Denver moving the ball, and Arthur makes it an 8-point game. 26-point lead is down to 8, and Luke Walton's going to stop it here. 9:13 left. Nuggets were better in the second. They were better in the third, and they're hanging right with the world champs. our Taco Bell Spotlight. With Draymond Green, 25, a career best, 18 in the first quarter. The Warriors sharing the ball with 25 assists on their 34 made field goals, all part of the Taco Bell Spotlight. But you have to credit the Denver Nuggets. After being down 26, they have been the better team in the second, third, and the beginning of this fourth quarter. It's not as much as what the Warriors haven't done, it's what the Nuggets have done. Right now, Denver is +10 in second chance points. They're +5 in points off turnovers. They're +5 in fast break points.
Well, the 19 offensive rebounds to 6. Not that they scored every time, but they send a message doing that. And it sends not only a message to the opposition, but it sends a message to themselves that they can compete. And if the shots start falling, they can actually win a game. Lost 4 straight, as you said earlier. Lost their last 7 of 8.
Livingston missing there. Rebound battle to Draymond. And he is fouled. So Bogut, Draymond Green, Iguodala with Livingston and Klay Thompson. And Luke Walton having to go to the starting unit here. Because the Nuggets surge is becoming dangerous. Klay Thompson, good look, but couldn't knock it down. That pass thrown away. Draymond down the lane, and that's goaltended. These are plays Draymond Green did not make last year. You've seen him catch and shoot for threes, made 5 threes, but doesn't settle. He goes right around Mike Miller.
I like that little scoop shot, and that's another thing he's developing. We've seen him go a little reverse layups off the glass softly. He's just getting more finesse in his game. That's just what he's just more refined as a player. He was pretty rough when he came in here as a rookie.
Martin, that's a tough cover. Klay moved his feet nicely. Shot clock at 1. Nelson shot it long. That's good Warrior defense. Long way to go in this one. And Draymond Green finding Klay Thompson. Mike Malone's going to take a timeout. Nuggets get within 7. Warriors push it right back. Excellent play. Klay moving. And Draymond Green's got 9 assists. Warrior lead at 12. Bob Fitzgerald, Jim Barnett, Roz Gold on Wood-A with you at Oracle. Our McDonald's true story. The best point differential in home games in NBA history. The Bucks for 2 years in the early 70s, nearly 18 a game. The Bulls at 17. And how about this year? The Warriors and Spurs, historic in the top 5 and how they've won games in their home buildings.
Well, you saw the Bucks there. They did win the championship in 71. The elite teams play games like that and have an advantage. And they put the hammer down.
Foy, that's a tough take. Draymond good D and Randy Foy with a nice finish.
One thing I've noticed about Randy Foy, trying to get more minutes, he doesn't look for a shot first.
Right.
For me, he's always been a player who thinks shot first, pass second.
Klay Thompson, a good look. The deep 2 missing there. Jameer Nelson has Draymond switched out, so they try to post up Gallinari and Livingston. Took a bit of a headbutt there. Hogan not going to let him finish, but had a foul on that pass. And it's Bogut's 5th. It's a big call there with 6:49 left.
Well, you in danger of losing your only rim protector.
Bogut is plus 20 in the 18 minutes he had played coming into the quarter.
That was no Festus Ezini. They're the shot blocker, and they'll make a living doing that.
I'll tell you, Arthur continues to have a solid game. 12 points in 15 minutes, back to single digits. Klay Thompson. Clay's had 2 good looks, but he's 8 of 20 tonight.
The Nuggets have the Warriors' attention. There's no question about it. Yep, they do. And they have a lot of confidence right now. It was building.
6-point game. 20 shaved off the large lead of 26. You got 6 minutes of crunch time. Trying to do it with 8 guys. Do it without Steph Curry.
Well, I'll tell you what, the way the Nuggets are playing, you hope it comes down to crunch time.
Martin attacking. Iguodala. Beautiful strip. Warriors with numbers. And Klay Thompson finishes off the assist from Draymond, who now has back-to-back triple-doubles.
They didn't rush it there. I thought that was pretty calm. They handled it well, making the extra one to Klay.
Arthur nowhere to go.
How about the defense of Draymond Green? He forced that turnover. Nicely done.
Big trip down. Can they get it to double digits? They hold on to Draymond Green. I made the point of back-to-back triple-doubles. Draymond's done that twice this season. You know how many other Warriors have had back-to-back triple-doubles? No one.
Rick Barry never did? Interesting.
No one. It's the
now,
first
by the way,
Warrior ever.
The reason Jameer Nelson took that foul, he just pulled his hamstring.
Yes, he did.
He got a cramp in there or pulled it or something.
Had to get out right away. Shot clock at 2. Draymond's got to recognize he didn't look at the other end.
He doesn't know it.
He made the basket, but he didn't get it off quick enough. Taps his chest. He knows.
And you're right. You do have to look at the other end. You can't turn around and look at yours as easily.
Reed inside. If Bogut didn't want to foul him, can't foul out right now.
Well, that one he had to give him. You're right. Because they need him on the floor.
6-point lead in the ball. 4.5 left. Shot clock at 5. Iguodala jumper, rimming out. Bogut keeping it alive. And Fareed saving, and here come the Nuggets. Barton, rhythm 3. That's a good box out by Ian Clark.
I'm not sure Mike Malone wanted that shot. But you live with it.
And Clark off a Draymond delivery. Ian Clark boxed out of that rebound. Move without the ball. 29 assists on the night. And what a distributor Draymond Green is.
You spread the floor, you keep running. You catch them napping a little bit. The pace is pretty furious right here. And there is no one defending the rim there from a weak side cut.
Ian Clark, 4 straight double-figure scoring games. 13 tonight on 6 of 7 shooting.
Ian Clark just beat his man there. Simple as that. He just kept running and lulled him into it on the weak side and then made a hard cut.
Where would they be without the free agent fine from Belmont? You don't have Barbosa. You don't have Curry. Ian Clark is playing huge minutes.
$29 for him tonight. For Ian Clark, that's a single game high.
You think of all the home winning streaks that are on the line here. The 6th longest in NBA history at home at 33 straight.
That'd be a tough way to give it away. We got a 26-point lead, wouldn't it? We know these guys are gutsy.
Jameer Nelson attacking. Gary Harris hitting a 3. The Nuggets with 5 players in double figures. and a 5-point game.
You've been doing this a long time. Didn't you kind of feel that was going in?
You felt it for the middle of the third quarter.
Yep.
Klay Thompson can't find the range. And here comes Denver again. Reed flipping it in, drawing the foul.
See, they're making their luck. You say that, well, that's lucky. But right now, they are determining it themselves.
And it's the worst of every world. Bogut is fouled out of the game. So not only is Faried at the line in a one-possession ball game, but Andrew Bogut is done. Luke Walton is not going to Spates or Thompson. He's going to go with the small lineup here.
Interesting.
Draymond becomes the center. Iguodala becomes the power forward. And Faried cuts it to 2.
If I'm the Nuggets, the next thing I do is post up Gallinari. Let him operate.
Klay banking it in.
Big shot, and he had to improvise there and go off glass.
Denver is 9 of 13 in the fourth quarter. The crowd rises to help the Warriors D.
And they're looking for Faried inside. He just can't get position here.
Jameer Nelson with Barton at the shot clock at 5. Draymond gapping him. Will Barton runner rimming out. Rebound, Draymond Green. Ian Clark thought about it.
Well, he had a shot. He just didn't want to take it that quickly.
Draymond 3. Missing it all.
Official timeout.
2:25 remaining. 4-point lead. 33-game home win streak on the line. Artogo's big play began the game. It was good to have Steph Curry back. Iguodala in the starting lineup. The lob triggered 2 of the Warriors' 37 first quarter points. Artogo's big play. Since then, Denver has had the edge in play. And it's not what the Warriors haven't done. It's what Denver continues to do well. Warriors are shooting at 52%. They're holding the Nuggets to 46% shooting, but
they've made 10 threes to the Nuggets 5. So where does it all come into?
Turnovers are even at 12 apiece.
But points off turnovers favor the Nuggets only by 3.
Jameer Nelson working on Draymond. Good closeout on Barton. Nelson 3. And the rebound to Iguodala.
They dodged it there because they didn't switch very well. And Nelson had a look.
Livingston, Ian Clark. Draymond, Iguodala, Klay. The small lineup.
Gallinari knows that Livingston's not going to shoot a 3 out there.
Klay Thompson off the heel of the rim. Iguodala. Was he fouled? No, he touched it last.
I guess it went out of bounds before he got grabbed.
Gallinari, Jameer Nelson, Will Barton with Gary Harris and Faried. 100 seconds of crunch time. Protecting the 4-point lead. There's the post-up of Gallinari that you called, Jim.
High post, but he can put it on the floor, as you see.
Missing with the left hand, rebound loose. Denver another opportunity. Harris 3, rebound Faried. So Denver third opportunity. Will Barton from the foul line. Who wins this rebound battle? Klay saved or not? You got a foul on Draymond Green. That's a rough call. All the bodies colliding in pursuit of that ball.
That is rough man's play down low here. What an effort by Faried.
And it's the pull down of Faried that got Draymond the whistle.
Yeah, Klay was going to save it.
So 4 Warrior team fouls, first in the last 2 minutes.
They get 4 turns here.
And they denied the Nuggets 4 times. Will Barton slicing, blocked by Livingston. They do it! 4 stops!
That is one big play at the defensive end by Sean.
Shot clock at 10. Play with Fareed switching out on him. Down to 5. Driving in traffic, losing the ball. Barton's a 2-on-1. Barton to the rim to dunk it down.
They don't have to foul. They can play it out and try to get the last shot. One thing Denver should not do, they should not foul.
Luke Walton going to use a timeout here. 26.8 with 16 left in the game. And so for the Warriors, it's the execution here offensively. Denver comes up with a big turnover and finish. You're playing the clock game, and you got to get a good shot here to try to make it a 2-possession game.
Yeah, and I would also not settle for the outside shot. We saw one go astray a little bit ago, a 3-point shot. I'd say you got to put the pressure on them. You're talking about, they're not in foul trouble yet, but make them
they have a foul to give even.
They have a foul to give. So make them foul you and go to the basket. Don't take the outside shot because they're just waiting. Then they win that game, and then they have a chance to win it with a 3 or tie it with a 2 to close it out.
Are you running something for Clay or putting it in Draymond's hands?
Who's your ball handler out there? You're probably going to throw it over to Draymond and make it because they're not going to play him as tightly out there if it's Fareed. Going to give him a little bit of room. But Clay's not your best ball handler. So possibly Ian Clark if he's out there.
And you could have Draymond finding Clay as a play completer, but not the play initiator is what you're saying. Klay Thompson dribbled into traffic and turned it over on that last play. A year ago, 11-3 in games decided by 4 or less. Didn't play a lot of them, the fewest in the league. Denver's on a 16-6 run to cut it to 2. Ian Clark, Iguodala, Draymond, Klay Thompson, and Sean Livingston.
And I think here it's going to, okay, Sean. You got Sean, Livingston can handle it. Ian Clark can handle it.
There's the feed to Draymond. An open Iguodala. Out to Ian Clark. Shot clock at 3. Iguodala rises for the jumper. It's an air ball. Denver can play for the tie or win. They don't use a timeout. Will Barton at 4. Barton up and under. Tie game. 9/10 of a second left. They get the air ball. They drive it down. And Will Barton, 21 points, ties it up.
Just takes Andre off the dribble. Did not use the screen. A little up fake. Took Andre out of position. Kept his pivot foot down. This is a really nice move. His right foot was his pivot foot. And that was an easy completion for him off the board. I'll tell you, he's grown in his game.
The timeout will move the ball into the front court. With 9/10 of a second, you can get a shot off. It will not be denied by rule. You must have at least 3/10 to secure and attempt a shot.
And there's no way you're going to throw the ball into the lane and have it be completed. It will be deflected away with this Denver crew. So you're relegated to some kind of outside shot if you can do so. And it'll probably come from around 3-point range because that's what they're going to give you.
It has to be a hot potato move, though. 9/10.
Exactly.
Not a lot of time. Livingston to inbound.
This shot will be contested.
Curling around to Iguodala, knocked away. We've got overtime. Overtime as the Denver Nuggets outscore the Warriors by 13 in the fourth quarter. 8 healthy bodies, no Steph Curry, 18-6 Denver run, and 5 extra minutes.
I'm Rick Welts. CSN, the authentic home of the champs.
The Nuggets with all the momentum. An 18-6 run to finish off regulation. Andrew Bogut is fouled out. Livingston playing with 4 fouls. The Warriors with 8 players after Steph Curry, unable to go in the second half, got kicked in that same area in the lower left leg. Denver's taking
it all.
CSN, the authentic home of the champs.
The Nuggets with all the momentum. An 18-6 run to finish off regulation. Andrew Bogut is fouled out. Livingston playing with 4 fouls. The Warriors with 8 players after Steph Curry, unable to go in the second half, got kicked in that same area in the lower left leg. Denver's taken 95 shots to the Warriors 77. All that extra effort in the offensive glass.
Well, this is so reminiscent of that November 6th game here when the Warriors had a halftime lead of 74-44, outscored in the second half by 15. But tonight, they've been outscored. The Warriors have by 8 in the second, by 3 in the third, by 13 in the fourth. So you're looking at 24 points they made up from that first quarter.
Jameer Nelson, Gary Harris, Will Barton with Gallinari and Fareed.
Well, another test for the Warriors, albeit a very short crew.
There's the post up with Gallinari. He rises and misfires. Klay Thompson grabbing that rebound. The Warriors had 1 field goal in the final 4 minutes of regulation. And they break the seal here. Klay cannot find the range. He is 3 of 9 after the third quarter. Will Barton has had the hot hand. Fareed, look what I found. And the foul is on the rebound. It's before the basket.
Fareed is always in the middle of the action. This is almost like an air ball. So they're busy blocking off. They don't really see where the ball is. And Fareed just had it bounce right into his hands off the front of the rim.
And Livingston now with 5 fouls. No one was happier to see Andrew Bogut foul out than Kenneth Fareed.
There's a lot of responsibility here with Mo Spates. Defensively, rotations, and also blocking off on Fareed.
Gallinari and Draymond will be called for a foul here. He did not agree.
First lead of the night for Denver. Well, I'm not sure that Gallinari shoots an air ball. 6 feet short. So it looked to me like he got him on the wrist.
So the free throw's down. Always that oddity. Whoever scores first in overtime seems to get some type of advantage. They seem to win the game a lot. So 1 field goal in the last 5 minutes for the Warriors. Can they break the seal?
Their offense is starting from 40 feet out. Everything is being defended.
Draymond is fouled. So recycle the shot clock to 14.
Second personal, first team foul.
12 fourth quarter points, like you said. Only 1 basket in the last 4 minutes. But you go from here.
Klay Thompson.
Just not on tonight.
Klay at 17 on 7 of 16 shooting. He's 3 for his last 10 since the end of the third. Shot clock at 5. Gallinari deep 3. And there's Spates grabbing that rebound. Draymond Green breaks the seal.
He just muscled his way into that position and cleared Gallinari out legally. Nice move. Nice finish.
standing at Oracle.
Win it at this end.
Nelson missing. Rebound. And Clay tracking it down. Chance to take the lead. Draymond again on Gary Harris. Shot clock at 5, looking for cutters. Ian Clark showing go!
I'll tell you what poise this young man has. He gets the ball, he's not really open. He shows him the ball, gets a fake and makes a little turn and drops in a tough shot.
Fareed working the glass. He appeared to have pushed off and got away with it. Minutes left in overtime, and we got an offensive foul. Ian Clark called for an offensive foul. Very rough sequence back and forth for the Warriors.
Evidently moving on that screen.
They don't even get a shot attempt.
2 minutes.
Maurice Speights almost has to, well now see he's going to switch, but he almost has to face guard Fareed when the ball goes up so he doesn't get a rebound. He can't get it himself, but make sure that Fareed doesn't get it.
Shot clock at 3. And you get a push foul with 3 to shoot. Denver is living right.
Oh, Draymond pushed off, and it's right in front of the official.
That's his 4th foul. But more importantly, new time for Jameer Nelson. Fareed again. Fareed again. And finally a Fareed foul. He is banging and bumping. And the Warriors trying to ward off the Manimal.
And that is one tough challenge. He brings a lunch pail.
Oh, he absolutely does. What a game. We credit Denver battling the world champs. The Warriors under man trying to hold them off. Shot clock at 8. Clay's been cold. Draymond from deep.
Speights had Jameer Nelson on it. They did not get it into him. How many times can you hold them off?
1 minute of overtime. Will Barton slicing, and that is an offensive foul.
One thing about Maurice, he does that very well. He's drawn a lot of them since he's been a Warrior. He anticipates here, gets there in time. Free screen, frees Barton for a moment. Speights had it covered.
Luke Walton will use a timeout. 57 ticks left. Tied at 106. Does the home winning streak come to an end, or do the Warriors hold off the Nuggets?
You can get him at the low post because he's pretty good down there. You might spring Maurice Speights for a little jump shot. Iguodala's going to handle the ball. Let's see where Draymond goes. He's going down low.
So he's got Gallinari on the box. There is the most Speights jumper. Barnett doing play before play.
Well, I'll tell you, it was a good look. You know they're going to collapse down on Draymond.
So now protecting the 2-point lead. The Manimal inside, banked it home.
He's going to miss that shot about 80% of the time, but you got to live with it.
9-second game shot clock difference, winding down overtime.
You can't run it out, so you want to score here. You don't want to put the pressure on yourself.
Play down the lane, the lane in!
All right, now you got a little bit of a cushion. Only a 3 can beat you here.
Denver takes time.
Relieves a little bit of the pressure.
Klay Thompson, after missing jumpers, did what great players do. Make the adjustment, take it inside. 15.6 and a stop to win the game.
Get Beauty-Rest, Posturepedic, even Tempur-Pedic.
Starts with the backbone, Papa and Saint. Now with a full hour of pregame coverage. They're a dynamic duo with skill, style, and chemistry just like these guys. You want bogey-like inside presence? How about insider Monty Poole, a big man that can dish? And every team needs a glue guy, gal. We've got Roz. And just like Draymond, she can do it all.
CSN, the authentic home of the champs.
On that leading sequence, Kenneth Faried was injured, and he has been laboring the entire time out here. So Klay drove, Speights and Faried, and he smashed into Will Barton.
That hurts the neck.
Rocked his neck.
Yeah, that does hurt the neck.
And he has been in considerable discomfort.
I don't like that. I don't like that at all.
And so Faried's not going to be in for the final 15.6.
Well, then there's more of a chance that they go for the win. They've got 4 players that have shot numerous and made numerous three-pointers this season. And they're out there.
So Gary Harris is a 36% three-point shooter. Gallinari 37%.
Gallinari's made 44 this year, but he set out the last 6 games. Barton's made 59. Harris has made 34, and Nelson's made 35. Those are your top 4 as far as numbers go. So look for a 3.
Do they go for the tie or the win? Barton attacking. Iguodala played the D. Speights with a rebound, and then the foul.
And they put it into Barton's hand. He is a terrific driver. We saw what he did to close out regulation on Iguodala. They just went for the tie to go to another overtime, but it backfired. I thought they would go for a 3 with those 4 players out there.
Klay Thompson to shoot 2 monster free throws.
Andre got into the passing lane. He overplayed it, so that was the play to make. I'm not sure that was the design, but Barton made the right decision when you get overplayed like that.
You wonder how sharp the Warriors are, as Jim Kozimor and Saint will talk about this. Iguodala, great defense. Speights with the rebound and immediately gave it to Klay Thompson.
Yeah.
Who's the best free throw? Boom. Handed it right to him.
Andre did a great job recovering there, making a tougher shot than Barton expected.
Klay splits the free throws. And here we go, Jim.
Well, now we know they're going to try a 3. And if I'm the Warriors, I definitely foul. Foul on the inbounds pass.
There's 6.4 left in overtime. This is when you foul on the catch, and you don't let a team attempt a 3. The other issue, and the old Don Nelson trick, is you tell the officials you're going to foul on the catch. Now you can bait Denver to go inside the 3-point line and not even allow them to attempt a 3. So the tough thing, you want to guard outside the arc. You want to guard outside the arc, and this is the medical attention, I think, for Faried.
This changes everything here. I mean, if they can keep all of that off the court, well, I don't like a neck injury at all.
So Denver has to have a 3 that made only 5 tonight. Do the Warriors elect to foul on the catch? Do they run them off the arc? Barton, Harris, Gallinari getting the inbound back. And Nelson, all 3-point shooters. Jameer was open briefly. Now Arthur.
They got to foul him.
They don't foul. Barton's got nowhere to go. He's going to shoot a 3 to tie it. No!
Play was fire. They didn't get burned.
The Warriors win their 34th home game in a row in heart-stopping fashion. They do it without Curry in the second half, with only 8 players in slate jerseys. And former assistant Mike Malone had his Nuggets play a tremendous game. outscore the Warriors 18-6 to finish off the fourth and force overtime. Denver had the lead in the extra period, but the plays by Draymond Green and Klay Thompson with the finger roll. The Warriors start the new year 31-2, win it by 3 in the extra period. Warrior postgame live is coming your way with a scintillating Saturday night at Oracle.
They made you hang around 5 extra minutes to enjoy that one as the Warriors come away with an overtime victory, 111-108 over the Denver Nuggets, who never gave up. Bear in mind, after one, Warriors were up 37-11, but there was one guy who shined brighter than any other, and Roz has him right now. Roz?
Draymond, you guys go into overtime with just 7 players available, having lost a big lead. Where did you dig from to pull this out?
Wait, say, what's the end? What was the last part?
Where did you dig from to pull this out with such few players available?
We just had to continue to fight. You know, we knew we came in the game with 9, then we went in overtime with 7, but everybody stepped up. Everybody who touched the floor played big minutes, and we stuck together. When stuff started going wrong, nobody folded, nobody complained to each other. We just stuck together, and collectively we were able to do it.
And a piece of this, too, in the second half, you lose the lead, and Steph Curry is out of the game. Is there any desire to kind of prove we can still finish this?
I mean, no, not necessarily that. We just want to win the game. You know, obviously with Steph going out, that's always huge, but, you know, we don't go out thinking like, oh, we need to show people we can win without Steph. I mean, at the end of the day, we don't care what people think about that because it's the MVP of the league. We need him. It's no secret. But, you know, guys stepped up and made plays. They cut the lead, but at the end of the day, everybody did what we needed to do to get a win.
And Draymond, you especially, you had a triple-double, your 6th, leads the NBA. We saw you playing at the 1 and the 5. Like, do you actually study all of the plays from each position?
Yeah, I know every play from every spot. You know, that's something that I've always done, high school, college, and pros. I think it's important if you're going to be a leader, you're going to hold people accountable, you have to know where they're supposed to be. And so I try to know every spot on the floor at all times.
That's amazing. Well, congratulations on the win. Get some rest.
Thank you.
Guys?
Well, I tell you, the Warriors have one of the greatest offenses in the league. That's no secret. They're the best shooting team in the league. They held Denver to 2 of 10 in the overtime. Make no mistake, the defense of this team is what eventually wins. And with everything going against them, Bogut already found out. Right. They turned the faucet off in the extra period.
Yeah, and they had to battle. It did not help Denver when Fareed went out.
Right.
He makes a difference out there at the offensive end with his rebounding and the ferocity that he brings. But in the overtime period, you got a big basket from Ian Clark.
Yep.
You got a big basket from Maurice Spates. You got that little drive from Klay Thompson. I believe he scored the last 3 points for the Warriors, including that free throw. So they made the baskets when they needed it coming down the stretch. And that was a great bit of mental toughness that they displayed in the overtime. After losing a 24, 26-point lead, going to overtime, the momentum goes all to Denver, but they played against that, and they won the game, and now they've won, what, 34 in a row at home?
34 in a row. It's the 150th straight sellout, and what you can't underestimate is what it's like for an opposition team to play at Oracle, because in overtime, there were 5 guys in slate and nearly 20,000 people helping the defense.
You know, I kind of felt sorry for Mike Malone as he was leaving here because his team played well enough to win. They just did not win, and he was muttering to himself. He's worked so hard to get this group to believe in themselves, and I'll tell you what, you can see this team, they're inspiring. They do believe in themselves. Even this is the second time we've seen them get way down from the Warriors and fight all the way back, and tonight they almost got to the top of the mountain.
Yeah, so 31-2. What a way to ring in the new year. And Coz, with you sitting in, you had to have a Michigan State guy get the triple-double and win the game, right?
You got that right. I'll tell you.
It was the Spartan connection that got the win.
That's why we love Bob Fitzgerald. He knows how to connect all the dots together at the same point. Great job, guys. Fitz and JB with another great call. I continue to say they're stealing money with the greatest job in the NBA. You get another Warrior win at home. That's number 34 in a row for them. They now tie the Portland Trailblazers from the 77-78 era. Next in line, the Philadelphia 76ers, and you're moving back a decade into the 60s as we welcome you into Honda Warriors Postgame Live. How you doing, everybody? Jim Kozimor and the coach, Gary St. Jean. This one was a ton of fun. They made everyone wait 5 minutes. They scared everybody, but a ton of fun. Let's get to our BMW turning point of the game. Now, you said you liked this guy, Barton. You said he could play a little bit of the game here. And late in this one, he did his thing, didn't he?
He really did, and he's caught my eye over the last month because he can create his own shot. Now, that's against the best, one of the best wing defenders we have in the NBA, in Andre Iguodala. That up fake and under, that is a big-time move for a young player at the end of the game. And you have to give Denver credit. Being down that much, and they didn't pull down the flag. They kept on fighting. And when you got a guy like him, and then Fareed was just tenacious tonight, and Gallinari made shots, and Nelson played well, Mike Malone is proud of his team for coming all the way back. But when you get to that late game situation, this is where I thought the game was won, Coz, in the blood, in the paint, in the rebounding area. Boy, I tell you, Fareed was going after it, and you had Draymond and Bogues and the other guys really digging in there. That wasn't for the weak and meek in the paint. You had a battle in there, and the Warriors stepped up big.
You have to have your big boy pants on when Denver comes in. We keep saying they came back. Remember, down 37-11 after one. You're down big. All right, now you get to the overtime session, and it's just back and forth. And, well, Draymond Green finished with 29, rather. Right here, he ties it at 104. Ian Clark, there's the move Jim Barnett was talking about. He spins around and gives the Warriors a brief lead. But Fareed, under pressure right here, a little duress, boom. He banks it home to tie it at 106. You get a little defense rolling right here. And an offensive foul by Mo Buckets. Now, on the other end, they're going to come back on Spates. Explain this right here, Coach.
Well, I love that. That's part of the triangle offense. You've got a left side entry, and then you've got a small pin down on a big, and the big doesn't get out on Buckets. He knocked down a big shot. Luke Walton's seen that play a lot. But look at Fareed, just tenacious. He got hurt late game. We're kind of fortunate. That's a nice curl off the weak elbow by Clay, and a nice finger roll to lay it up and in. He struggled with his jump shot late in the game, but he stepped up there with a big play.
And then here's the final drive. Will Barton takes it in on that great defender, Andre Iguodala. Not able to get the shot off. And then here's the very latest, the final shot of the game of the Warriors up 3. Barton with Klay Thompson right in his face. Can't find it. And the Warriors are winners, 111-108. Want to give you a quick update on Kenneth Fareed. We talked about him on that last play late. It was a bucket by the Warriors. Klay Thompson got the layup, but there was an internal collision. Inadvertent internal collision, and it looked like Kenneth Fareed got hit in the neck. He is being taken away from the floor right now on a stretcher. We'll try to update you as quickly as we possibly can. Tell you, that guy played a whale of a game, and now he's getting a shot right here. Well, I tell you, that's as scary a picture as you're going to see as they want to stabilize the neck. They don't want him to move. When they were helping him over to the side, saying it was a very scary scene.
Well, it was, and I was really surprised that they didn't really halt everything to get him in a safe area, because if you happen to get a loose ball going down that end, it could have went into him, but they must have thought everything was going to be all right. But you hope that this young man's okay. This was the Kenneth Fareed that I've seen the last year, a couple years in our league, playing for USA Basketball as well. We think Draymond works hard. This guy works just as hard. He just doesn't have the skill set that Draymond has. I have nothing but admiration for him.
All right, everyone, with some good thoughts towards Kenneth Fareed in this one. Staying on the injury theme with this one, and for the Warriors, this isn't the best of news. It has to do with Steph Curry. You see where he's got the tape on the shin? He always wears those ankle braces. Well, here in the first half, there's a second quarter collision he has. Fareed involved, he's defending, and then you see Curry kind of hop a little bit. Here's a little ISO. Watch a little step, boom. It's almost like he got ankle to ankle or shin to shin. They're calling it a left shin contusion. He played 14 minutes in the game tonight. And so Steph Curry, you could almost see a little contusion area, a little bruise above the taped area. And now you look at wounded Warriors. The list of 7, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. That is correct. 7 players. Ezeli missing his 3rd consecutive game with that toe. He missed the Texas trip as well. Barnes, people thought he could return on this night against Denver. Didn't return. And Barbosa, we heard Monty Poole, our Warriors insider, tell us before the game, it's another week before maybe you could start thinking about something for him. Starting to add up, Saint. Starting to add up.
Everyone was saying last year, oh, the Warriors, they didn't have any major injuries to deal with like the rest of the league. Take a look now, because they are really banged up. And hopefully a couple guys can come back. They got a back-to-back, Coase, Monday and Tuesday, home against Charlotte, and then down to Tuesday to play the Lakers. So you need some more bodies. It's not good to play in the last 10 minutes of your game with only 7 players in an NBA game. At that point, they were running out of energy, and Denver was winning the hustle game. That was just the tenacity inside the Warrior guys to get that win. That was tough going.
And you wonder how gassed the Warriors were. Remember, coming into this game, they had just 9 players. It was 8 after Steph went down in the second quarter. Now, this is what's going on at Oracle Arena. You see the emergency medical people are there, and they're wheeling out Kenneth Faried. They have stabilized the neck area. This is a player who was hit late in the overtime session, inadvertently, too. We want to point out this was just an action within the game. It can happen, but it was kind of scary because it came from behind, kind of jarred his neck.
Yes.
And you saw him hold it, and it's as if he got hit, got stunned, stood up, and then the pain or the discomfort started to take over at that point.
Yeah, he accidentally got pushed right there, and then his momentum carried him into his own player. And right there you could tell, boy, you know, he had a problem. And you know, in an NBA game, you see a player doubled over. That happens a lot, but he never got in an erect position again. That's where he stayed. And finally, they were helping him off the floor, but you're just hoping this young man's okay.
Yeah, there were about 3 people, and let's not forget that the NBA and all professional sports leagues, they do a fantastic job when it comes to the physical part of this game. They've got doctors and specialists on hand, and so Faried will have the best care possible. When we continue on Warriors Postgame Live, we'll hear from Luke Walton. Warriors a winner in overtime tonight.
Sports Center coming up right after Warriors Post-Game Live. We have an historic comeback in the Alamo Bowl by TCU. You've got to see it to believe it.
One heck of a game. Also, the Raiders trying to slow down the hottest team in the NFL, the Kansas City Chiefs. We'll tell you why they believe they can win that game.
And Sharks trying to win back-to-back home games for the first time this season. We've got those highlights as well.
We've got a lot to show you, which means we still have a lot of work to do. We'll see you a little bit later. Back to Coach and Coase.
KJ and Henry, part of my weekend TV diet all the time. Now, the Warriors, they're a regular part of your TV diet, and they win in overtime against Denver. 111-108 the final. Only 3 Warriors in double figures. One of them, Draymond Green, near his career high of 31, finished with 29, and his 6th career triple-double in this game. Steph played just 14 minutes because he had the left shin contusion. He did finish this one with 5 points. Right now, let's get some reaction from the head coach, Luke Walton, on effort in this game.
Luke, what can you say about Draymond Green's performance and the way you guys competed in the overtime after losing the lead?
Well, one, there's nobody that competes harder than Draymond. I mean, it's, you know, there's some games he's not great, but when the team needs him and we're down and, you know, we've got injuries up and down the line, he does whatever it takes in games. And tonight we needed his rebounding, his playmaking, and his scoring. He did all 3 of them. But just a credit to our entire, you know, our guys that played. Andre played 43 minutes and was spectacular. You know, Ian Clark he played 37 minutes, 7 for 8 from the field. I mean, he hit big shots down the stretch. The 34 assists we had as a team again is just, you know, it's so fun coaching these guys, and they enjoy playing that way, and they make plays for each other. And you know, even with all those injuries, the guys that were out there fought and were able come out with the win.
Speaking of injuries, what exactly happened with Steph that led to his removal from the game?
I have no idea yet. I just saw him limping out there, and when you know, we kind of talked to the staff before if he was gonna if he had any pain or start limping, it was gonna be, you know, we take him out, let them evaluate him, but you know, they'll probably fill me in when we get done. I haven't really spoken to him since it happened, though.
I was told he got kicked.
All right, so take a look at the triple doubles going on here. In Warrior lore, he's catching up to a guy named Wilt Chamberlain. How about that, Saint?
Amazing.
That's pretty incredible, huh? 7 career triple doubles. He has 6 this year. In the NBA, the top 3 guys with triple doubles, 2 of them are guards, point guards. The other guy is this one, Draymond Green. Power forward, point forward, shooting threes early, knocking them down. What do you do with him on the floor? If you're a head coach, though, how's your head spinning at all the things you could do with him?
Well, that's a nightmare matchup for the opposing coach. If you're coaching him, you have so many ways that you can utilize his talents. He can be a drift shooter. He can play pick and pop. He can go down in the post and be a passer or scorer. He's got the whole package. And then, oh, by the way, he's one of the best defenders we have in the entire league, and he runs a fast break like a point guard goes.
Well, that's quite a breakdown, and you wonder how a guy like that lasts until the second round in the NBA.
Amazing. It's an inexact science.
30 teams passed, not 29, 30 teams passed, and finally he landed here. Hey, Highlight Zone. An overtime Warrior win means you got to stick around and see how it happened. That's straight ahead. Take part in that right now. I need a Highlight Zone, Saint, because this is an overtime Warrior win, and you get this thing rolling early, and they're shooting a long ball. Green, 18 points in the quarter, a career high for a single quarter for him. All over the floor, Saint. They couldn't stop him, could they?
You know, when you build up this big of a lead this early in the game, in the NBA, teams tend to come back, and the Warriors had it all going. It was just shot after shot after shot, and you're saying, are they going to just blow these guys out?
Yeah, it looked like it was going to be that 37-11 after 1, but then you had to go to 20 seconds left in the overtime, tied at 108, and Clay gets that little layup, and it ends up being a game winner. The Dubs win it 111 to 108. It took a little bit longer than we expected because when you go out to that big lead, but you know, you got to give credit to the Denver Nuggets.
Boy,
this happened the other time they played out here. They went down early and they come roaring back. Michael Malone gets his teams to play hard.
Well, it speaks of their determination. I loved how they competed. I thought Jameer Nelson, the old veteran, led the club, and Gary Harris played well. No quitting them. They kept coming at you, and they came back. They did a heck of a job. But, you know, when you're a championship team, in those last couple minutes of a game, you learn a lot about your team and about execution on both ends of the floor. They ran a beautiful play. We talked about that triangle action with the weak side pin down, small on big. Mo Buckets made a couple big plays. He came up that weak side and hit that jumper. Shortly after, you said, hey, look at that. He drew the charge. So, you know, he's been over there by the Gatorade cooler. And he came up tonight, and he made some big plays. So I'm happy for him. Maybe that's going to be a positive motivation for him and get him going like he was playing last year.
Excellent point to point out the importance of the bench. Now, I know that that's been a storyline throughout the NBA season for the Golden State Warriors, but on this night it was particularly important because they started the night with just 9 guys. And as Fitz and JB said before the game, you know that you're going to get some time. You're going to get a chance to play. You can't get surprised. One of those guys who really utilized that time well, Ian Clark, this young fella's getting himself some minutes. His 4th straight game in double figures.
Simplicity of that play. He got his head and shoulders by the defender, put him on his hip, and finished with a scoop. He knocks down the 3. Now he's got a mismatch with Fareed. Again, he shoots it underhand to out-quick the big. There he initiates contact to create space. You love it. And look at the movement without the basketball. I'll tell you what, this guy is a confident, positive player. He believes in himself. And I'll tell you one thing. I love the veteran guys. Green telling him, I want you to be aggressive out there. Don't be passing up shots. We believe in you. And I'll tell you what, that means a lot to a young player playing on a championship team. hey, the Warriors have found something here. This young guy can play.
Yeah, you can say that about a lot of their young guys, and it's another excellent point to say, hey, they want and expect these young kids to come in and contribute.
Yes.
You're just not getting a couple of minutes because we think you're nice. We want you to contribute because we know you can, and they do, like Clark. All right, so who's next? The Charlotte Hornets. That's Steph's dad's team. Coming to town on Monday. We'll tell you about it. All right, let's take a look at our Honda drive ahead. Warriors get an overtime win against Denver, but the schedule doesn't give them very much time off. They're off on Sunday. Monday, here come the Charlotte Hornets as they open a western swing. They are a shade over the 500 mark. They can score and they can defend, and that means they got a shot anytime they step out onto the floor. They did lose in their final home game before starting this road swing. Oklahoma City went into their barn and got them pretty good. But remember when these two teams played, the Warriors and the Hornets played back in Charlotte. It's a return home for Steph. He drops 40 on Dell Curry night. Remember that, saying it was Dell's night, and Steph stole the story.
He sure did. He was on fire that night. Mom, sister, aunts, grandmother were there, and he was awesome. I'm going to tell you something, Coz. I like this Charlotte team in the East. They're getting great play out of Kemba Walker and Nicholas Batum, who came over from Portland. Those two are playing lights out. Al Jefferson's out with a meniscus surgery. They've gone to Zeller and Williams at the big spots. And Steve Clifford's really doing a good job with this team. They're playing solid basketball on both ends of the floor.
Well, they're going to have their hands full coming up on Monday, and we'll have to wait and see how Steph Curry is. Remember, had to leave in the second quarter of a home win, played just 14 minutes, left shin contusion. Only time will tell on that one. We want to remind everyone that coming up after this show, Sportsnet Central, Kelly Johnson, Henry Wolford, we will hear from Draymond Green and Klay Thompson after the Warriors' overtime win. 2015 meant a 42-1 home record for the Warriors. They start 1-0. They're chasing that. They're chasing that, Saint. You know how they need things. They need carrots on the end of the stick, Saint. They gonna get it done?
Yeah, they're really not motivated.
No, not at all.
Yeah, not at all.
Not at all.
Yeah.
You know what? KJ and Hank, they're motivated. For Saint, I'm Jim. Good night, everyone. SNC next.
Right now on Sportsnet Central.
Steph Curry returns to action but can't finish the game due to injury. After that, we were treated to an epic finish. Highlights and reaction to another home win for the champs.
And after a brutal loss to the 76ers, George Karl and the Kings make history at home. Highlights and